If you want to learn how you can speak to anyone so easily using these 5 secrets, remember to stay tuned to the end. Hey guys, this is June because I was born in June, and welcome to my amazing life today. So if let's say you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, remember to subscribe here at www.amazinglife.co, where I share a lot of different free resources and training to help you to become more successful online. So let's come back to this topic. So recently I read about this book. It's called How to Talk to Anyone. I think this book actually share about 92 tips and tricks, and I absolutely love it. So I still halfway been through in the entire book. So I want to share with you guys like the top 5 tips that I learned from this book, which is literally super helpful. So the first rule, it's called never the naked thank you. Right, never the naked thank you. So what does it mean by never the naked thank you? You know why? When was the last time that you said thank you to anyone? Like, is it you just purely said thank you, or is there any things that follow behind? So what is written in that book is that, so whenever you want to express your gratitude to someone, never just stop at the thank you, right? You have to tell people what you're thanking them for. Like, for example, thank you for following up with me on my refund for this order. All right. When you're talking to perhaps your husband or your wife, thank you for making us like really delicious dinner, and we really appreciate that. So you actually tell the person what you are thanking them for. So you're not just saying thank you for the sake of saying thank you. So never the naked thank you is a very, very powerful way in order to make the person happy, and I'm just going to start using it right away. So the tip number 2 is that focusing on you, right? Try to use as much as you in your conversation when you're talking. Okay, let me just give you guys an example. You can actually use it during a conversation or while you are doing a presentation. Like maybe in the middle of your speech or your presentation, when you're talking to the client, you may want to say like, it is really important for you to start automate your business processes. Okay, maybe you want to say this sentence, right? Let me repeat it. The sentence original, you may want, you are saying, you may see, okay, you say like, it is important to automate your business. But in order to make this same sentence more impactful and more powerful, change it to the way that you put you inside. Let me rephrase that in a better way, right? You will see the importance of automating your business right away, right? I put the you first. So when I talk about you, people actually pay attention. So this is one of the example. So second example is that, for example, maybe someone actually asks you a really good questions while you're doing the presentation or while you're giving your speech, right? And you want to acknowledge a person, okay? So most of us, including me, I will most likely say, oh, that is a great question. I will comment that, right? But a better way in saying this should be, you have asked a really great questions. So let us just repeat it. The first option will be like, this is really a good question, versus you have asked a really great questions. So which one is better? Definitely the one that we emphasize on you, right? Y-O-U. So that's the reason why whenever you're having a conversation or you're delivering a speech, try to put you into the main communication. Make sense? All right. And the tip number 3 that is being shared by the book, it's called use Appetiser. So what is Appetiser? So basically, you want to be able to show empathy to your friends while they know that you are literally listening to them. So in most of the cases, while all of us we are having a conversation, we will be like having this some sort of appetizer, like when someone is talking, right? Like you nod your head and you have this like sound effect, yeah. Just to tell the other person that you kind of like agree. But a better appetizer is like a sentence. It doesn't have to be long. It can be short. Like for example, your friends or your family members like talking to you over a trip, over an incident. It's just happening in their life, right? So instead of just right, in just giving that kind of like I would say like a blank sound effect, why not you just use a sentence to empathize them? Like, wow, that's a really, really great sharing. That's a really lovely story. Wow, that's really a great act. right? You don't have to include a wow. It's just like a word that I input, but you can just use a sentence as appetizer. I see what you mean. Now I understand. Instead of just having the sound effect, that is much better. So that's the reason why the tip number 3, it is something that we can do every single day, and it's super easy, is to use a phrase as a simple appetizer rather than having this just the sound effect, okay? And a tip number 4, which is pretty simple, is just a reminder for myself. Remember, when you are talking with someone else, let the person talk, and your job is just to listen. Your job is, as a listener, is just to listen, as well as you use a phrase appetizer to let the person acknowledge that you are listening. Like, oh, I see what you mean. Wow, that's really surprising. Use a full sentence of appetizer and let the other person talk, okay? And the last one is that, I think the last one is really, really useful whenever you're in sales. That is actually speak their languages. So what do I mean by speaking the languages? So a lot of us, when we are trying to communicate, right? When we're trying to convey our message, we tend to convey in a way, in the words that is meaningful for us, but it's not meaningful for the other person. Like, for example, if you were to sell some services, right? Or you're offering some product or services to like a doctor, to people in healthcare line, you may want to speak their lingo, right? So you can try to ask any of your friends who is in healthcare field, like doctor, nurses, ask them, is there any great incidents that happened in their field, like recently, that you can actually chat with these new acquaintances that you have just been through. Like, for example, maybe you just got to know that there is a big news or big changes in in the medical law, and it literally affects everyone. So whenever you meet a new friend, you can actually bring this up as a topic, right? As something like you know their world. Okay, because here's the thing, when you have a lot of similarities with a new person that you meet, the likelihood of liking each other will increase. So, but do you guys know that this is something that you can control? So how easy is that? Is by knowing the person is in which field and try to discuss with them what is the latest changes in their field, or one of the big news in their field. That will be very, very, very helpful to improve the relationship between you guys, even though you guys are just strangers. I find that these 5 tips, which is like never the naked thank you. Remember using the you as the main communicator, and use appetizer, but then use phrase appetizer, never just like using the sound effect. And 4th, let the other person talk and you become a great listener. And 5, just speak their lingo and try to know the world in their world. Try to know the news in their world, and then the person will increase the likelihood of liking you as a person. So these are 5 tips that I've learned so far. Actually, in the book itself, they actually talk about 92 tips on how to talk to anyone. So if let's say you guys loving it, feel free to check out the book, and I hope that you guy loving this episode. And if let's say you love it, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as joining our free Facebook group that is at www.amazingstar.co, and I'll see you in the next episode then. Take care, bye.